Hello folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Devansh, and in today's video we'll be basically talking about epochs, batch and iteration. So basically I'm covering this topic because our next upcoming videos will be on optimizers. So basically we'll be having a dedicated videos on gradient descent and stochastic gradient descent and many more optimizers. Okay, so for basically understanding those, we basically need to understand what is epochs, batch and iteration. Okay, so in this video we'll be learning this. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing and let's get started. So yeah, let's first of all let me take a data set. Suppose okay, let me take our own data set. Okay, suppose you have this data set IQ and you have the CGPA of a student and you are basically checking if he is placed or not. Okay, so suppose you have let's say you have IQ 94 and this is 9.1 and he is placed, and IQ is 72 and the CGPA is 8.2 and let's say he is not placed and so on. Okay, this is basically going to, let's say, 1000 records. Okay, I hope you are understanding what I mean by 1000 records, right? So this is basically the data of a single student, let's say S1, and this is S2 and so on, and this placed is nothing but my Y, okay, which is my basically true output, right? This is my training data. Okay, so this placed Y is my true output. Okay, so let's understand. And basically I have 1000 records, means 1000 data of 1000 students. Okay, yeah, cool. So epochs basically means epochs in simple terms, you can say one epochs is when basically if you have 1000 records. I'm basically explaining you with the consideration of 1000 records. Okay, suppose you have 1000 records, then one epochs, you can say you have completed one epochs when basically one forward pass. Okay, I hope you have watched my previous videos, so you will be basically be aware of what is a forward propagation and what is a backward propagation, right? So one forward pass and one backward pass. Backward pass basically means backward, basically forward propagation and backward propagation. Okay, I am saying one forward pass and one backward pass of all the training data set, okay, of all training data set. So you can say you have completed one epochs, or basically neural network has completed one epochs when basically you have a single forward pass and a backward pass of all the training data set have been completed. What I means by this is basically, suppose this is my single data set, right? If the forward propagation of this and the backward propagation of this, and similarly for all this training data set has been done, then we can say we have completed one epochs. Okay, cool. So yes, yeah, so let's understand batch. Okay, for completing one epochs, basically we will be basically providing an entire data set which is 1000 records. Okay, let's assume 1000 is a huge amount. You can have, of course you won't be having 1000 records. You'll be having in basically training data in millions, right? Suppose you have 1 million records or 10 million records. Okay, in any n amount. Okay, so in that case, providing the entire 1 million data set to the computer is going to be a heavy task, right? High computational task. It's going to be a heavy task. So for that, for making the things much more easier, what we'll be doing is, suppose I'm only taking example of 1000, okay, and I'm assuming that it is a very huge quantity, somewhere comparatively to 1 million something. Okay, because if I take the example of 1 million, then it is not going to be that easy for you to understand. Maybe that's why I'm taking example of 1000. Suppose we are having a 1000 records, and for passing it for passing the entire 1000 records to the machine, to the computer, for the single epochs is going to be a heavy task. So for that we have the solution. What we can do is basically we can split this 1000 into 500. Okay, you can do so you can basically do it into 100, 10 times of 100, right? Basically 10 packets of 100 records, of course. Okay, so we'll be we'll be using basically hyperparameters for this. Okay, in future upcoming videos you will learn about how basically we decide how many batches we'll be basically creating. So for a record we have 1000, for this particular example we have 1000 records. Okay, so which is a huge task, right, for giving it to the epoch. So there's something concept of batch. The word itself is very much telling you like batch. Batch is something like you can say basically something like small batches, small packets, right? So basically what I'll do is I'll give like small packets of like 500 records and 500 records. I'll break my 1000 records into small packets of 500 plus 500. So this is a small quantity, right? So our computer will be easy, basically be able to understand or basically be able to compute this, right? So this is nothing but a concept of batch. Okay, so iteration. Let's for iteration basically I'm taking a single example of this 1000 and basically I'm giving you I'm trying to explain all the three concepts in that. Okay, suppose you want to complete one epoch on this 1000 records. So as we discussed, like we'll be basically converting this 1000, or you can say dividing this 1000 into small packets of 500, which is a batch, right? So for one epoch, of course, like for performing the one epoch, you need to do the forward propagation and backward propagation on all the entire data set, right? So for completing one epoch, basically you will be needing 500 and this 500 as well, which is a batch, right? For performing this batch, basically we have to do two iterations, right? If suppose we are having same 1000 records, and what you did is you basically divided this 1000 into batches of 100. Okay, batches of 100. So you are going to have like how many iterations? If there are like batches of 100, so of course like you are going to have 10 iterations, correct? Because like 10 times our algorithm has to go, right, for performing this. First these 100 batches will be performed, and then again second of that, right? If you are having the confusion of what this basically 10 iteration is coming, like 100 into 10 is basically 1000, right? So basically for showing 1000 we are having like packets of 100. So this is something iteration. So I hope you understood this. And for summarizing, like let me summarize this. I'm basically having a record of 1000 students, so you can say 1000 data items. What I'm doing is basically for performing one epoch, the definition is like you can say for performing a single epoch on 1000 records, what I have to do is I have to perform a single forward propagation and a backward propagation on all the training data set, right? For this particular data set, I have to do one forward propagation, one backward propagation, and for this the same, one forward and one backward, and so on for all my training data sets, right? That would count as one epoch. And so basically this is going to be a huge amount. Like if we have like 10 million records, then this is going to be huge for a computer, right? So for that we have this solution of basically if something is huge, what you will do, you will basically divide it into small packets, right? So the same what we did is we divided this 1000 or if you have 1 million, so you can divide it into like 1 million is somewhere like 10 lakhs. So you can divide it into like 1 lakh packets of 1 lakh or batches of 1 lakh, 10 batches. Okay, so if you are dividing 1 million into batches of like 1 lakh, so basically you would have to perform 10 iterations, right? So yeah, so if we are taking the example of this 1000 records, I am basically creating a batches of 500 and 500. So for that, this is a batch, right? 500. So for performing these this particular operation, our algorithm has to perform basically 2 iterations. Okay, if same I'm telling, if I have converted this 1000 records into packets of like 100, okay, then I would have basically 10 packets of 100, right? So for that our algorithm has to perform 10 iterations. Okay, so I hope you understood what is the concept of epochs, batch and iteration. So in the upcoming videos I'll be talking about optimizers. Okay, so yeah, if you have any doubt, then you can of course leave in the comment section, and also you can provide me feedback what I can improve to add more value. Thank you.